So obviously, with the demand of manga increasing over the last year, and with the social distancing measures that many companies in Japan and also the publishing companies are having to take to make sure that everybody is safe, the demand has increased, but the supply has decreased. We have seen this absolute scalping of basically the time from conceiving that we're gonna print this to the time that the book actually comes out has increased. It's taking longer for them to make the books themselves. Viz Media stated, I think either in October or September of 2021, that they were ceasing production of all box sets for the foreseeable future.
And with that, our class on the state of the manga industry in 2023 starts right now. Hello all of my otaku friends, my name is Prof Otaku and welcome back to my channel for another video. Today is a special video. It's kind of become a yearly tradition on the channel where I talk about the state of the manga industry. I came up with this idea as we were going through the pandemic and I wanted to research why things were going the way they were in our manga industry. So before we get started with this video, if you want to check out any of the state of the manga industry videos from 2021 or 2022, I will leave links in the description down below. Also, all the information I have for you guys has been looked up, has been researched. I will leave all the links to all the different websites and articles that I looked up down in the description. So let's start with our very first talking point. Will the bubble burst? Or in other words, will the trajectory of popularity of manga and anime finally just combust on itself? And the obvious answer is no, absolutely not. We're going to continue to see this growth in 2023. Yes, I'm going to read this part of the script off my iPad because you try memorizing all these numbers. Looking at the growth during the pandemic, which you could consider from 2020 to 2022, the AJPEA, or it's also called the All Japan Magazine and Book Publishers and Editors Association, reported increased earnings of 23% across both digital and physical manga in 2020 compared to 2019. The printing manga industry hit a whopping $2.55 billion, but more surprisingly, the digital sales in manga rose to an insane $3.22 billion. In 2021, ICV2 reported manga sales in the US doubled from the year before. There was a 160% increase, totaling 24.4 million sold manga units. So when perusing through websites, I found a very interesting interview snippet from Kevin Hamrick, who's the Viz president, in 2022, and he's reflecting on the 2022 sales versus the 2021 manga sales. He says the company is seeing much higher manga sales in this time frame of 2022 compared to that of 2021. The growth rate is slower, however, manga accounts for a quarter of the overall book industry growth in the US. So it's pretty obvious to see through all of that information that between 2020 and 2022, we have seen an exponential growth in the industry that will continue to go that way in 2023. Let's talk about another asset to the growth of the manga industry, which is anime streaming. Anime streaming is a huge player when it comes to expanding the manga industry, with both High Dive Anime and Disney Plus gaining the license rights to heavy hitters such as Summertime Rendering and Eminence in Shadow and many more. We have seen an increase of viewership with more casual viewers, and this ingestion of anime by the casual viewer has in turn created an opportunity for manga to start coming into that picture, with people wanting to check out the source material or expand on their favorite story. Kohei Obara, who is Netflix anime creative director, said this to Variety in an interview in 2022. Anime is one of the cornerstones of our investment in Japan, watched by nearly 90% of our members here last year. At the same time, interest in anime has grown worldwide, and more than half of our members globally tuned into it last year. And when looking at the grand scheme of things, over 50% of the population of the world has either ingested anime seriously or in a casual setting. This is one of the things that really blew my mind. According to Grand View Research, they took a look at the entire Japanese manga and anime industry, the merchandise sales, everything that has to encompass Japanese otaku culture, and they believe that the anime industry is set to exponentially grow in the 2020s. So they say the global anime market size was valued at $24.8 billion in 2021, and it is expected to grow at a compound rate of 9.7% over the forecast period. This next section here are going to focus on the big four manga publishers and what I think they're going to be doing in 2023 to continue in this growth of the manga industry. Our first publisher, Viz Media, continues to bring stability to the manga industry by banking on publishing Shonen Jump titles that will continue to be popular and in the top 10 best-selling manga of the year. And with Viz providing a cheap, easy access app like the Shonen Jump app, it will allow casual anime watchers and casual manga readers to be able to absorb manga at such a great price. Expect Viz to be the frontrunner of manga publishing in 2023, with their Shonen Jump line dominating the top 10 leaderboards just like in years past. Kodansha Comics is doing a very interesting approach into 2023, taking some of their most popular series and reprinting them in 3-in-1 omnibuses in an oversized format. This in turn is giving their more popular series an oversized quality release at a cheaper price. Yes, quality control is an issue. Yes, there is manga in digital jail, and yes, they just got rid of simul-publishing chapters. But Kodansha is really starting to bring some special titles into print, such as Blue Lock and A Condition Called Love. I cannot wait to see what they bring out of their digital jail in 2023. With them ending simulpub chapters on Crunchyroll, could we see Kodansha go and start their own digital manga reading app just like Viz Media? Obviously, there was a huge uproar when the simulpub chapters thing went down, and Kodansha didn't give us that much information to go off of what they're going to do in the future. They just said look forward to an announcement. I'm hoping that's what it is. That's what the rumors are swirling around. So could we see Kodansha give us an easy access app just like Viz, and we can read some of those awesome titles online like Initial D? I really hope so. I would definitely pay for it. Yen Press continues to impress me with the creation and immediate success of Ise Press, their Korean manhwa branch. Started at the end of 2022, they now have a firm hold on the manhwa industry publications in the West, with them having some amazing licenses in this spring, including The Horizon. And they really hit 2023 full speed ahead with some really popular new releases such as Oshi no Koi and a reprint of K-On! Expect to see Yen Press this year really create a monopoly in the light novel and manhwa game. I can see Yen Press becoming a major player moving forward. Seven Seas continues to play Russian roulette with their licenses, obtaining and releasing all different sorts of manga and manhwa. But one thing is for sure, they are listening to the public. I'm looking at you, Tokyo Revengers. What amazing new licenses are we going to see this year from them? One thing's for sure, I'm definitely most excited to see what they come up with. Their reader survey that they give out every month is a surefire way for them to listen to the community and for us to tell them what we want in print, so make sure you're filling those out. And a very short snippet goes to Dark Horse with the reprints of their most popular series just happening at the end of 2022. Will we see them do amazing things in 2023? It's about time that we got a hardcover reprint of Trigun or hopefully Gantz. Let's see if they can pin down their best-selling series and get us a new release of those. Now let's go into this last section, which will talk about book production and supply chain issues. I think it's pretty obvious when you go to the grocery store and you see a dozen eggs at 10 bucks, but obviously there are still supply chain issues going on right now. More than half of logistics managers surveyed by CNBC state that they don't expect to see supply chain issues return to normal until 2024 or after. The same issues that plagued 2021 and 2022 will continue into 2023. However, we have seen things improve at the end of 2022. I'm specifically looking at the reprint game, which was something that I talked about in my previous State of the Manga Industry video as a big problem that was happening right now. And I'm happy to say that all 5 manga publishers were able to get out some of the most popular series at the end of 2022. So if you've had your eyes on some older series, I highly recommend looking around right now. If you want to know the exact issues with the manga shortage specifically from 2021, but just in terms of the supply chain issues, I will link an article down below called The Great Manga Shortage of 2021. It goes into some interviews and some statistics about how manga production works and how the funneling process has become very slim and it's been hard to place orders. Now, one hot topic issue that's been plaguing the manga community as of late has not been when are we getting the restocks, but where we're getting the restocks from. Over the last few years, we've seen an increase of manga production overseas, specifically in Italy and the Asian countries, and I think now in 2023, it's here to stay. It's pretty obvious that there's a quality control issue going on here with thinner paper, less quality paper, covers feeling different, bindings feeling really tight. It's really a guessing game of of what you're gonna get. And when looking at completing a set, you could have manga with completely white pages and then the standard newspaper pages, tight binding and loose binding, and it just depends on where it comes from. So I was curious about why publishers were choosing to print overseas, and I found this thing from Calawind, which said that publishers find that it's typically 40% less expensive to print a book in an Asian country compared to Canada or the US, especially with nicer editions. Think hardcovers, really nice embossed covers, some special lettering or some special binding. We find that overseas printers can do a variety of special bindings and effects at minimal cost compared to North American printers. They said that the overseas printing companies have the same technology and machines that they use here in the Western countries, but obviously, as we've seen, that this is a problem, and it will be curious to see how our manga publishers deal with this in 2023. Will they really focus on this problem, or will they say, you know what, we just have to get the books out? To conclude, I think that the scope of manga collecting has changed a lot in the last 3 years. When reprints happen of popular series, we go to snag them up immediately without even considering finding the best deal and waiting, because who knows when they're going to get reprinted again when they go out of stock. Out of print manga prices continue to soar. It's absolutely crazy to see how much the out of print manga game has changed in the last 3 years. The demand is still super high for those, and they're going for top dollar. However, 2023 may provide us a reprieve, a sense of stability that we saw near the end of 2022. We'll just have to wait and see. As always, if you enjoy my videos, please hit that like button, tap the subscribe button, hit that notification bell so that you know when more of my videos come out, and I will see you in the next one. Take care now. Bye-bye.